This is Rap the News. Gonna check first and make sure we're recording and we good. So let's get into it. We prove all things by scriptures, meaning that if I make a statement on this page, I'm going to back it up with biblical verses. The reason Gentiles were never given God's divine scriptures is because they were all doomed to be burned in the fire of hell for eternity. Again, we prove everything by the scriptures. So a lot of Christians, if not all of them, believe that Jesus is coming in the clouds. They're going to be lifted up in the clouds and taken away. And that's furthest from the truth. That is a lie that was infiltrated into the book. Again, we prove all things by the scriptures. Romans 2:14, Amplified Bible Version, to bring out the verse clear. That's the only reason. Gentiles do not have the law. They do what? They do not have the law, since it was given only to the Jews. They do instinctively the things the law requires, guided only by their conscience, like Pinocchio. They are a law to themselves, though they do not have the law. If they are a law to themselves, then they are the lawless ones. Again, if they do not have the law, then they are lawless. So it exposes who the lawless one is. Satan and his descendants. 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, the one doomed to the fire. And we know what? It's the Gentile. We know who it is. Let's keep moving. Galatians 2:15, New Living Translation. You and I are Jews by birth, not sinners like the Gentiles, so they are what? The men of sin, the sons of perdition, the ones doomed to enter the fire. Again, we prove everything by scriptures, and I love proving everything without a shadow of a doubt. When I finish, there will be no doubt except for those who need medication. Matthew 7:6, give not that which is holy unto the dogs. Who are the dogs according to scriptures? Neither cast your pearls before the swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and render you. Right? Why is it saying that? Who's talking? Christ. So if Christ is speaking against Gentiles, why would he be sent to the world, to the Gentiles, to deliver them? We're going to keep going down this rabbit hole, man, until I open up the eyes of everybody by the will and the spirit of the Most High God. Romans 7:12, wherefore the law is holy, and the commandments is holy, and just and good. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs. So we don't give the law unto them. And this is why the book says again, Gentiles do not have the law, because you don't give which is holy unto the Gentiles. Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment is holy, and just and good. It's starting to sink in a little bit, huh? Revelation 21:21, and the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every other gate was one pearl. So what does it say? And cast not your pearls before the swine. They ain't getting into heaven. They ain't receiving any divine revelation, is what the book or this passage means. If you try to give it to them, they are going to trample you and it under your foot and get you. They're going to make a mockery of it, and that's what they did. They changed the book. The devil and the Gentiles made a deal with the Most High God to give them respite, time. Says the day the dead are risen to corrupt all of mankind. Why? They were mad at the creation of mankind. Again, if I make a statement or proclamation right here, we are going to do what? Prove it with the book. Revelations 11:2. But the court which is without the temple, leave them out, and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot for 42 months. That's the respite time. The holy city, give not that which is holy unto the Gentiles, because they will what? Trample them underfoot. Let's go back up to it. Give not that which is holy unto, I don't want to say the words because they want to strike me every time I say anything, because they'll say I'm talking about them instead of reading the scriptures. And cast them your pearls, do not give which is holy unto them. The law is holy, the commandments is holy, right? God is holy. You are a holy people, right? So don't give them heaven and don't give them the law. Because they're going to do what? Watch this. They will trample them under their feet and turn again and get you. If you give them which is holy. Right? Because they did a deal. And now we're looking at the deal now. The court which is without the temple, Revelations 11:2, and leave out and measure it not, for it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot for 42 months. That is a time. That is a respite. The 42 months equal, it's just code for the day the dead are risen out of their graves. Pretty much the end of time. So at the creation of mankind to the end of time, they were against you. Revelation 13:5. And there was given unto Satan a mouth speaking great things, and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. Just like it was given unto Christ crucified from his Father. See, we're going to prove everything. By what? The scriptures. So, what do we have here? We got Satan with 42 months, and we got the Gentiles with 42 months. To do what? Trample the holy city of the Most High God down under their feet. Until we make thy enemies under thy footstool. It wasn't talking about the real Jesus of Nazareth. It was talking about Satan. My Lord is sitting next to your Lord. This is their Lord. Christ crucified is the other Lord, because there's only one God. And any other thing is called idolatry, the worship of multiple gods and things. Revelations 11:18, and the nations were angry, just to prove the point that they had respite till the day the dead were raised. And thy wrath is coming, and that's on them, and the time of the dead, right? That they should be judged. Awaken the heathen. That's what's happening right now. Joel 3. Right? Let the heathen be wakened. Let them understand who they are now and who you are. That thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants, the prophets. That's who we are. and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and should destroy them which destroys the earth. See, watch this. When you sin, it brings drought, it brings famine, it brings death. Did you know that? And so all those people who live in sin, they are destroying the earth. It don't have to be the mercury and the radiation and everything else. It's all a part of it. The technology and everything is from Satan. Those are the miracles that the devil deceives the world with. The nations who are the jinn, spelled that way, jinn spelled that way, jinn spelled that way. In other ways, jinn, because the jinn tried to conceal itself. Jinn mean hidden, the hidden ones. The jinn tried to conceal himself. They are not human, but actually the progeny of the Assyrian, who is actually Satan, according to the scriptures that we prove all things by. So let's prove it. Ezekiel 31:6, talking about the Assyrian, who is Satan, and all the fowls of the heaven made their nests in his bowls. And it wasn't talking about actual fowls. It's 4 types of jinn, and that's one. And under his branches did all the beasts of the field, and that's another jinn, bring forth their young. And under his shadow dwelt all the great nations. Who is under his shadow? He ain't talking about God right here. So it's either God or the devil. So they are not the progeny of Adam. They are the progeny of, you see it, right? Then they watch me very carefully, folks, because they want to report that I'm doing hate speech. It's sad that they can't learn the truth about themselves because they so busy hiding. And you can't learn the truth, and that's the whole thing. They don't want you to know. See, this ain't crazy talk because we've proven what? Everything by the scriptures. Deuteronomy 32:8. When the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, because they are not the sons of Adam, because they are not the sons of Adam, because they are not the son of Adam, they are the progeny of you know who. Then, point blank, it's right there in your face. Let's keep going. We're going to find out. See, if you keep going with me, folks, you learn something. Because I didn't do this for over 20 years every single day and don't know shit. You know, I'm shocked and you're going to be shocked. So let's get shocked together, Pikachu. After God granted Satan respite till the day the dead are raised, but not only Satan, the Gentiles as well, he went right away to deceive Adam and Eve and was cast out. See, the respite was, we're going to go back up to it. Here's the terms of the respite. He was given 42 months to trample down the holy city of God and all his people and to deceive us by speaking blasphemies. That's where your Christ crucified came from. It is a blasphemy. Right? So those are the terms of the respite. So he went right away to what? Deceive Adam and Eve. God warned Adam and Eve. Eat off every tree but this one. The devil went right over there to them because they were gullible, a new creation, and deceived them into eating the fruits. He was cast out in order to crawl out on his belly. They were cast out too. And they were cast out with punishments and curses. Cursed was the Satan, but cursed is the Gentile. Right? Then woman is going to be cursed with birth pains, and the man is going to be cursed with working, from the sweat of his brow. And all of us now must die, right, and meet the Lord. So they brought death upon everybody by listening to the devil who said they were going to be gods. Daniel 7:12, English Standard Version. As for the rest of the beast, so Satan was cast out, but then I left the rest of the Gentiles. Their dominion was taken away, but their lives were prolonged for a season of time, and that was the problem from the jump. Not only was they envious of the creation of mankind, but they was very wrathful at the fact that God gave you dominion over them. Turn some air on in here, man. It's getting hot in her. Up in her. Let's keep going, folks. Stick with me and learn something. Revelation 12:7. Then a war broke out in heaven because the beasts had their dominion taken away. Satan was cast out. They're crooked serpents. They're going to fight. A war broke out in heaven. That's why. It wasn't like it was all calm and next thing you know people just start fighting. Nah, it was at the deception of mankind and the anger because the dominion was given to man over the earth. And they wanted it. Because not only did he have dominion over the earth, but he had dominion over the beast as well. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his Gentiles fought back. It's not angels. Even the cherubim, they're not angels. They're another jinn. But the dragon was not strong enough, and no longer was any place found in heaven for him and his angels, the Gentiles. Again, because of this fight, you were no longer, as Gentiles, welcome into heaven. Because you did a deal and you said, respite us, so we can wreck mankind, hate mankind, murder, kill, and trample underfoot. Look at Jerusalem now. Are we there? Who trampled it down? The Romans, right? So all of it is what? Facts. Let's keep going. Ezekiel 31:17. They also went down into hell with him unto them that would be slain with the sword. So they wasn't strong enough, right? And they got slayed. And they that were his arm, and they that were his arm that dwelt under his shadow in the midst of the damn heathen. Now we're going to go back up to it because we prove all things. And the fowl of the heavens made their nests in his boughs, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwelt all the great Gentile nations. Before the creation of mankind, they already had nations. That's why we were gullible. It's like a new child being born or something like that, and our minds were open. We are destroyed because we ignorant. And ignorant is gullible. Right? So they got cast down to hell. Those who dwelt under his shadow, the devil and his angels, now we know who they are. The man of perdition, the sinner, right? The lawless one. Got so many names, don't they? The Satan and the Gentiles did 1,000-year lick in hell and was loose for a season because that was the deal. But for being openly defiant to the Most High God, he burned them for a year. They were the locusts coming out of the pit who had hair like women, right? Pumping what? Christ crucified on horseback. Revelations 25. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years were finished. This was the first resurrection. It don't want to come out. Christ is the first begotten of the dead. But it ain't Jesus of Nazareth. It's Christ crucified. The demon that came down with Satan. Right? Whom they all worship. So the problem has always been that we are dealing with two different species here, mankind and genkind. The Gentiles, since the creation of man, have always been bitter that God gave mankind dominion over them. Scriptures call it a perpetual ancient hatred. Ezekiel 35:5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Another definition is ancient. And hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by force of the sword. I'm going to highlight that. Go back up to it. And the holy city shall they tread underfoot for 42 months. Right? The Gentiles is doing this by force of the sword. Right? All the while they speaking blasphemies. And power was given unto him, to continue 42 months, to the time the dead are raised. We prove in all things. Right? Let's keep it going. So it has become the demons, the other three types, is trying to make me super thirsty. It has become the jinn race against mankind. There are four types of jinn. Jinn sent to try and tempt mankind. See, how it works is, folks, that if you listen to the devil, all these curses come upon you. When you stop listening to God who told you, you do not obey nobody but me. There is no God but me. You only serve me. He's still standing. These morons keep worshiping what? The false God of the nation, Christ crucified, thinking they're going to get a blessing from that genie. Then that genie come offering gifts, salvation, anything that you ask for, just like Aladdin. Jeremiah 15:3, and I will appoint over them, and that's Hebrews, 4 kinds of jinn. You know they're going to take that word out because they don't want you to know who they are. Says the Lord, the sword to slay. Ain't that what they do? Slay us with the sword. The dogs that tear. And the fowls of the heaven. I told you I wasn't talking about birds. And the beasts of the field, of the earth, to devour and destroy, because they are fire and we are water. Now you know what that is, huh? Fire and water. We're going to prove that too. I don't say nothing without proving it. Job 18:9, the jinn shall take him. Go look it up. It's going to tell you, the jinn shall take him by the heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. The jinn gonna do what? Take him by the heel. He's a snake, right? Genesis 3:15, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. The jinn is taking you by the heel. They try to lie about that. Oh, see, the gin is a drink. Oh, you see, the gin is a cotton gin, that was presented to slavery. Now, this is way before the gin drink and the cotton gin, right? Oh, see, the gin means some other thing, but they lying. The gin is called a trap, a deceiver, the devil, a snare, right? And he do that snare with deception. The jinn race was a crooked race created from the smokeless fire called the scorching winds out of the pit of hell. Let's read that again, folks. We prove everything by the scriptures. The jinn race, go look it up. It's going to tell you the jinn. Job 18:9, right? The jinn race was a crooked race created from smokeless fire called scorching winds out of the pit of hell. And they're going to return from the hell whence they came. People got to understand that. We're going to return back to the dust. They are going to return back from the hell from whence they came. We're going to do what, folks? Prove it all with scriptures. Jeremiah 4:11. At that time it will be told this people and to Jerusalem, a scorching wind from the barren heights in the desert. Sometimes they say desert wind or scorching wind, but it still just means Gentile, jinn. It's coming towards my people. And it is not for winnowing or cleansing, a wind too strong, for that is coming at my bidding. I am sending these Gentiles to destroy Israel. These Gentiles are called the scorching wind because the scorching wind was from planet hell, folks. Out of the pits of hell. That's how they was created. Again, the Gentile race is from fire. They are just occupying a body for this earth. And that's why they call them Gentiles in the flesh. Wolves in sheep's clothing. For the ones who look like us, the black ones. So, oh yeah, the Skittles, all the different colors of the rainbow. Deuteronomy 28:49. The Lord shall bring a nation against you. So Deuteronomy and Jeremiah is both saying the same thing. So watch. The people's response to the judgment looks, he comes up like a cloud. And his chariots are like a whirlwind. His horses are swift as eagles. Woe to us, we gonna get destroyed. See, when Christ came in the clouds, the people of the earth mourned. Woe to us, we gonna get destroyed. Woe to the occupants on the earth, because the devil has come down to you. What does it say before that? Now has come down, or after that, salvation, the power of our Christ. Right? This scorching wind, it wasn't coming to cleanse, it was coming to destroy. Right? Let's go back up to it. And the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. The scorching wind, that's where they came from hell. We're learning something. All of this is biblical. Deuteronomy 28:49. The Lord shall bring a nation, and notice it says, as swift as eagles, against you from afar. Right? Let's measure it for measure. Against you from afar. They come in at my bidding. As swift as eagles, right? His horses are as swift as eagles. But it's calling the Gentile what? A scorching wind. Right? ISV version. International Standard Version, I believe it means. I won't get into all that. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance. Mischief makers. Right? Murderers. Right? They measure everything by World War I, World War II. By fighting. Which shall not regard the people of old. Don't they slam our elderly and beat them and kill them? Nor show favor to the young and blow their asses away too? What did Pharaoh say? Kill all of the firstborn, right? Haggai 2:17. I punish you in everything that you undertook with scorching wind. Gentiles. Let's go back up to this. I will appoint over you 4 kinds, says the Lord. The sword to slay, the dogs to tear, the fowls of the heaven, and the beasts of the earth to devour and destroy. To punish you in everything that you undertook. Deuteronomy 28:15. With scorching wind, with mildew, and with hail, and you still did not return to me, declares the Lord. You worshiping Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. They drive me crazy with this madness. You just want to just let what happened to them happen to them. Jeremiah 13:24. I will scatter you like chaff driven by the desert wind, which is what? The scorching wind, which is what? The Gentiles who are made from the smoke of hell. The scorching wind from hell. Right? A Google search on the jinn brings up jinn, origins and creation. Jinn are a creation like humans. They in the flesh, possessing a free will like humans. A flame of fire, Saman, meaning fire of scorching wind. Gentile, jinn, tau with flesh, jinn. Adjective, a person who is not a Jew. Christianity spread from Jew to Gentile cultures. Anthropology, relating to or indicating a nation or a clan. We are nations, they are clans. We are tribes, they are clans. And a clan is a tribe. Especially jinn. Especially what? Jinns. Why would they put that? They letting you know without letting you know. So if you were just reading this, you wouldn't understand this. So I'm trying to help you understand it all. Lastly, when the jinn was cast out of heaven, they came down preaching blasphemy. They came down what? Preaching blasphemy. Let's go back up to it. And there was given unto Satan a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given to him for what? Till the day the dead raised. So 42 months is just to throw you off. I'm just clearing it up for you. So they came down preaching blasphemy, the religion of salvation from God. By what? Going against the law, the lawless ones. Telling you you're under grace and not under the law, which means the commandments of God. They lied to you. They're trying to free you from what? And give you salvation from what? From God and his laws by using the power of Christ crucified, who is an impostor of Jesus of Nazareth. Right? So they use the Jesus of Nazareth fame and created a name off of that. The God in the flesh to replace the Most High God. Now you go through the God in the flesh. Now you pray to the God in the flesh. Now you do everything to the God in the flesh. Now he has become the most important, so that you forget God, your Savior, and become a part of hell. That's the consequences. They forgot God, their Savior, and so they were turned into hell. Revelations 12:9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his Gentile following were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation. Watch this. The great dragon was cast out into the earth, the devil and Satan. But now is coming salvation. It's the salvation from God. They came down to free Adam and Eve and everybody else from God by giving you what? Grace and no law. And to strengthen the kingdom of our God now. And the power of his Christ. Christ crucified. Y'all got deceived. Isaiah 8:14, and he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling, and for a rock of offense, to both the house of Israel, watch this, for a jinn, and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. So a jinn means snare. But why would they say jinn instead of snare? Because it is an actual person who looked like a human called a Gentile, and they are what? a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem. Let's keep going. Romans 9:33. As it is written, behold, I lay in Zion a stumbling stone and a rock of offense. And whosoever believeth on this rock of offense, the stumbling block, shall not be ashamed. They're going to be burned. Now, what is it saying about this stumbling block, this rock of offense? We're already warned about this Christ, right? He is a jinn. Many of them worship the jinn. Ponder over what's been, let's read it one. And he shall be for a sanctuary, Old Testament, but for a stone of stumbling. What do it mean, stumbling? That means making you fall away from the law. And for a rock of offense, and offending God so you get punished. To both the house of Israel, he is a jinn and a snare for the inhabitants of Jerusalem. As it is written, where is it written? In Isaiah 8:14, I lay in Zion a stumbling block. Right? A rock of offense. And whosoever believeth on him shall not be ashamed. You're going to be burned in hell listening to Paul. Because God already told you it was a snare and that you're worshiping a damn jinn. Let's keep going. Jinn. What is a jinn? In Arabia, an intelligent spirit of lower rank than the angels. Right? This is right on Google. And all I did is copy and paste. Able to appear in human forms. He came in the flesh. And to possess humans, the rebellious jinn leads men astray, a stumbling block, because he's always going against the laws of the Most High God. Damn, it's right there in your face in black and white. An intelligent spirit of lower rank than the angels, able to appear in human forms. Let's find out. Hebrews 2:9. But we see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels. Go look it up. Go look up Hebrews 2:9. But we see Jesus, who was made a little lower than the angels. What did it say? This jinn is a lower rank than the angels. Damn. Right? And he leads men astray. He's a stumbling rock of offense to God. Right? And he possessed humans. 2 Timothy 1:10, but is now made manifest by the appearing of our Savior, Jesus Christ, who appeared in the flesh. He was able to take human form. See, Jesus of Nazareth, he came out of a woman's vagina called Mary. See, this one, it came from the stars. Behold, a woman giving birth in the stars. And a baby with 7 crowns and 20 fucking Gentiles on his forehead. Anyway, Acts 7:45, which also our fathers that came after brought in with Jesus into the possession of the Gentiles. He is able to what? Possess humans. They describe Jesus Christ to an art form talking about jinn. And he deceived the world by way of those miracles. Because the real Christ, it said, was just a man, and God did those miracles. He could of himself do nothing. But this jinn, he had all power. All power was given to him until the day the dead arise. And then this Christ is going to do what? He's going to come and lay down all the power and rule to the Father. I read it to you. Right? And Daniel's in Revelation. Wake up, you have been deceived. So what do we learn here, folks? We learned that we are dealing with 2 different species, and that the Gentiles were never given divine revelations. They were never given any scriptures. They are liars and deceivers. Whoever preaching that word, and you Gentile, You are a deceiver, saying if you received divine revelation, you never did. The book tells us that, and that you came in and you changed the law and you changed the Torah and you changed the priesthood and you gave it the Melchizedek order. When God said that we are a royal priesthood for everlasting, for eternity. You can't change the priesthood. You can't change the covenant by bringing a new covenant, and you can't change the law because the Most High God don't change, and you have been exposed. So this is the man of perdition, that lying ass heathen going to hell has been exposed. This is Raptor News.